We're back on Trojans Live with the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach. It's Josh Henson. Appreciate you joining us now. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, and Max Brown. Coach, your group, certainly to our eyes, it seemed like took huge strides when you look at the sort of tough road games from Oregon State to Utah. It seemed like you just handled the crowd and the composure a lot better. How about your eyes, which are much more trained than ours? What did you think of your group's performance in Salt Lake?
I thought we had a solid performance. You know, you always look back at every game. There's things you could have done better. I thought overall that we performed at the standard I think we performed close to the standard. I know in our room there were several opportunities and things that we felt like we knew that we could have gotten. We had a couple little communication errors that cost us a couple of plays that we got pressure on. That Caleb made an unbelievable play on one and it turned out okay, but a couple others that we didn't convert. And so that goes a little bit with playing on the road sometimes and the crowd noise and those different things. But I thought overall our poise and our overall execution, I thought that we did a much better job giving ourselves a chance to win on the road in a pretty hostile environment.
Coach, specifically, I thought the pass protection was fantastic the whole night. I was raving about it. Obviously Caleb's going to extend plays, and it just seems like your guys were locked in blocking for 5-6 seconds, and you don't see that in college lines. I mean, usually 3 seconds is a great stop. You guys were blocking all night. Talk about their execution in pass protection.
Well, one thing we've been working on is trying to get into our pass blocks. And be more aggressive, be the aggressor, and not always set back and let the defense bring the pass rush to us. We've been taking the pass block to them, and I thought we did a much better job of that night. And it's maybe something that was a change up that they hadn't seen us do as much. But overall, I think it's just guys putting themselves in position to win. So many times at this level, it's not necessarily the defense beating you; it's you putting your body in a position where it just gives the defense an easy win. And that's the whole thing about pass protection. It's this body position, it's patience, and then it's punch. And if you put your body in position just to give yourself a chance to win and don't lean forward, don't give the things the defense needs to get an easy win, you know 80% of the time you're going to have a pretty good pass block. And so I think over the season our guys have just learned more and more each game, and I feel like each guy's kind of coming into his own as far as a pass protector from that standpoint.
Jonah Monahan's been holding down the right side, and it's been interesting for me. I feel like usually the left tackle with a right-handed quarterback, that's the tackle you solidify first. It's kind of been flipped for our team this year. What makes Jonah great on the right side and maybe not getting the true left tackle type of spot that fans are probably more traditionally accustomed to?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit at the end of the day, when you first start out and you're looking at body types and arm length and different things like that, Jonah reminds me a lot of a guy that I coached at Missouri named Mitch Morse, who you may know from the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. But Mitch was a great tackle in college because he had great feet and he was intelligent and he put himself in position to win and really he really blocked people with his feet and his lower body as much as he did his arms. And Jonah's really been learning to play the angles, and Jonah's been doing the same thing. He's played so well, but we kind of started him out on the right side just because he some of the guys did have a little more length that are playing on the left side, and that's where he started. But he's just played well, and I think more than anything, he's just come into his own this year and just gotten better and better and better. He's a really smart player, and he works really hard at his craft each and every week.
You're listening to Josh Henson, the USC offense coordinator, offensive line coach, and obviously all these new coaches come in. So many of the rooms, though, the position groups were turned over, so sort of new people getting to know new people. Your room's a little bit different. You bring in one transfer, and Bobby Haskins has played a huge role, but you took over a lot of guys that played a lot of ball. They played a lot of ball together. How was that relationship with an older room and trying to build their trust and them trying to earn yours?
It's been great. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys in year one than this group. They're experienced. They love playing the game. They love getting better. They're curious. They're always asking questions. They've worked extremely hard. They're hungry. They're passionate about what they do. It really, from that standpoint, wasn't that hard. I mean, I just had to come in and do my job and do it well, and they were looking for success, and so getting into that room with this group of guys and the kind of attitude they have, I couldn't ask for a better room in year one. So it's been a great fit. But I think as far as the turnover thing, Bobby came in. and Bobby has done a great job of meshing with the guys in the room, personality wise, and he's tough and he works hard and he's all the things that they are too. And he wants to be good, and and he's going to work his tail off to get there. But it was funny in the transfer portal a little bit. As we started talking to guys and possible guys that come here, they all kind of felt like we had our starting five, and it's kind of that's kind of, those guys are all pretty good, and that's who they are. And I guess they turned out to be right. They've had a pretty good year this year. So. Obviously we'll lose a few of those guys after this season. We'll see where it heads from there.
Coach, pretty fortunate injury-wise, other than Dieterich kind of going down for that game and Bobby Haskins and the left tackle position maybe a little in flux. Relatively the same kind of group out there and those guys. How about that next level? We've seen Geno a little bit. What's that next level of development, especially during the bye week? What's that next level of USC offensive lineman look like?
Yeah, well, obviously, Cortland and Bobby have played some at the left tackle spot. So whoever is the backup there, you have an experienced guy that's got experience. But Geno came in and started the entire game at Arizona State when Dietrich was down, and we won that game and did a really nice job. He had a few plays in there and that he liked to have back, but overall, I thought he did a really nice job. The other guy that's really coming on right now, as far as stepping, or getting close to the point to where you can get in the game, and he has gotten in the game a few times, is Mason Murphy at tackle. Mm-hmm. He's a very talented guy. He's growing, he's learning, and even in some ways he's just learning what it takes to perform.
That's part of it.
Yeah, day in, day out at this level, the intensity you have to have, the focus, the detail, the attention to detail that you have to have, and the way you got to be turned on every play and focused in and locked in every play. So once he does that and his talent, then he'll really start to express his talent, but you see him out there, he's a very talented guy, and I think he's got great length on the edge, and I think he's going to be a guy that's going to play a lot of ball for us in the future. It's
been cool to see Justin Dieterich's progression throughout his time here. He's played a lot of ball here, and for me, this feels like the first year where, he's really been talked about a bunch. I know in past years he's been in more of a rotation role, but this year you hear about his work ethic and his leadership and things of that nature. What's he meant for your room in this first year at SC?
All those things. Just such a charismatic guy. I mean, we always talk about having a fun work switch, and we can kind of have a little fun at practice, but as soon as you see my face kind of go back to work, you got to go back to work too. And if you can do that, we can have a little fun, but if not, then it's just all work. And these guys do such a great job, and it's maybe because they're older, whatever it is, of just having that switch. But Dietrich is that guy, man, and he just brings it every day. He loves to play the game. You saw him when he was a lifter of the year. He jumps up on the table with the sword, and that's him every day. I mean, he's got juice, he's got energy. Even through an injury, he shows up out there every day, ready to work, ready to go. And he's just kind of one of those guys that's kind of heart and soul of the team, because when you see him. When he stands there in front of the team and talks before the game and all that stuff, all those things he's saying, it all comes from the heart, but also comes from a place of example, because he's out there doing it at a high level every single day with a lot of energy, a lot of passion.
He shaved his mustache, though, Coach. Did you sanction that? Was there a ceremony or something?
Yeah, I asked him about that, and he said, well. He said we lost the game, so he said, I'm going in a different direction. I'm gonna be a better player than I was in that game. And I said, okay, if that's the thing, I said I'm all in. Then
it's like taking 2 losses in 1 week, man.
Yeah,
terrible,
bad deal.
Terrible to see that. That's Coach Josh Henson. Appreciate it, Coach, taking the time on a Monday night game week. USC versus Arizona, 4 p.m. kick.